Arizona State has been one of, if not the best stories in all of college football in 2024. Many people thought they would be the worst team in the Big 12, and yet they shocked everyone by not just winning the Big 12, but also gaining a first-round bye in the college football playoff. What Kenny Dillingham has been able to do in 2 seasons for the Sun Devils has been absolutely remarkable for a program that had so much drama and controversy surrounding it for really the last 5 to 10 years. They've had a really unique offense with good quarterback play, great play from their wide receiver Jordan Tyson, but they had one of the most dynamic runners in all of college football in Cam Skattebo. Skattebo has been one of the most fun players to watch in the country and finished inside the top 10 of Heisman voting. And a running back class that is potentially generational. Where does Skattebo go in this class? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board with over 500 prospects and counting. It is some of the best work that I have put together, and if you enjoy my NFL draft content, I highly recommend checking it out. Leave a comment on this video and let me know which prospects you guys would like to see in a future episode, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Cam Skattebo. Skattebo started his collegiate career at Sacramento State. He wasn't really heavily recruited coming out of high school, but he dominated at the FCS level before transferring to Arizona State in 2023, where he was pretty solid last year. He ran for 786 yards for 9 touchdowns on 164 carries. He was good, but he was incredible in 2024. On 264 carries, Skattebo had 1,569 yards and 19 touchdowns, and has been a massive riser and generated some serious Heisman conversations. He has 681 carries in school, and the workload will be a talking point that I'm really not too worried about because I think his tape is genuinely awesome. Skattebo has a very unconventional body for the running back position. He has drawn comparisons to Mike Allstott because he isn't the tallest guy in the world, but he has a really large build. He's 5'11", 215 pounds, and has one of the most interesting builds I have seen for a running back, which made this one of the more interesting evaluations I have ever done. He uses his size to his advantage though, and is an incredible power runner. He is one of the most difficult players to bring down. My note on him in my scouting report is that Skattebo is a human pinball. He just bounces off contact, can put his head down, and is constantly fighting for extra yardage. He forced 92 missed tackles in 2024 and was an absolute force on the ground and a player who embraces contact. Skattebo isn't just a north and south runner though. He is a guy who displays very good patience and vision as a runner. He has a nice quick burst and shows the ability to change direction and make plays all over the field. I love that about him because once he sees an open lane, he hits it quickly and has the power to just ram over who is in the gap, and that makes him really fun to watch. Skattebo has great power and vision, and while he has great quickness and initial burst, I think his long speed is a little bit underwhelming if I'm being completely honest with you guys. He has serviceable speed, but he doesn't necessarily have that second gear in the open field to just blow by guys. That unfortunately isn't a big part of his game, but I still think he has a big role at the next level because he can do things that just not a lot of people can do with his power. Another concerning area for Skattebo has been his ball security. He has really struggled with putting the football on the ground and fumbles throughout his collegiate career. He has 10 fumbles in his career, and that's something that will get him benched at the next level if he doesn't get that cleaned up. As a receiving back, I also think Skattebo could improve. He's been solid in the receiving game, but he runs a pretty simplistic route tree, has soft hands, and he can make plays happen after the catch, but as a blocker, that's mostly where I have concerns. He has the power and the willingness to block, but he has to improve his footwork and his hand placement because he was just run over at times in the blocking game, and I think that's got to get better for him if he's going to be a 3-down back in the NFL. Cam Skattebo is one of the most fun players I've gotten to evaluate. His running style is so much fun, so unconventional, and a nice change of pace from what we typically see. I love his contact balance, and I think he's really good after the catch as well. I'd like to see him be a little bit faster, maybe be a little bit of a better blocker, but with his power, I think he's going to be a very sought-after player at the next level, and he's my number 7 running back in the draft class and my number 108 overall player. In terms of a scheme fit, I think it goes without saying, Skattebo is the ideal power back. I don't think he'll ever be a number 1 bell cow running back in the NFL because of his lack of elite speed and blocking. But in short yardage situations, maybe as a receiver on screens, and his ability to just run over guys in the gap, I think he'll be an awesome power type of back that can see a good amount of carries at the NFL level. My player comparison for Cam Skattebo is Seattle Seahawks running back Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet is a very similar type of player, as a guy who is not a number 1 running back, but a guy who is good at bouncing off of contact, a guy who can make plays as a receiver, and a player who has solid vision. He might be the best number 2 running back at the next level, and is a very nice change of pace back from what they have in Kenneth Walker. I think that's exactly what Cam Skattebo is going to be at the next level. I think he shares a lot of similarities to Zach Charbonnet. Cam Skattebo is a human pinball. He seeks out contact and flat out embarrasses defenders in the gap. I think he is a really good player who is going to be a massive fan favorite at the draft, and ultimately, I believe that Cam Skattebo will be a 3rd to 4th round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.